Hi guys, hope that you have been well. So we've been reading the book of Joshua and it's actually been a very beautiful read, really seeing the things that Joshua was able to accomplish. I think, I've just always thought so much more of Moses. I've only known Joshua as just, the guy that took after Moses, but I've never really considered and read about the miracles and the things that Joshua himself did. And wow, so did you know, by the way, that Joshua parted the Jordan River? Like literally, we've always talked about the Red Sea. I don't know why we don't talk more about the Jordan River. Joshua parted it for the Israelites to come across. Did you also know that Joshua commanded the sun and the moon not to shine? That miracle has never been done before, never will be done again probably. And literally Joshua made the sun and the moon to stand still. Joshua won every battle. He defeated 31 kings in total. 31 kings ni kama defeat. Can you imagine when you defeat this country and that country and that country and that country 31 times, winning every single war? And the only battle that he lost was one where he went without seeking God first. But literally every time Joshua went to war, he won. Let me tell you, God was with Joshua so much that at some point when he was fighting against, I forget their name, God literally rained hailstones from heaven to kill Joshua's enemies, or rather the Israelites' enemies. And this has just called me to think about the God that we serve, the magnitude and the grandeur of the God we serve. There's this song that Don Moen sings, and he says, "Be magnified, O Lord, you are highly exalted, and there is nothing that you cannot do. Be magnified, O Lord." When you take a magnifying glass and you put it on top of something, it completely blows, right? It looks extremely big. And that is the God that we serve. And that is how we need to start looking at God through a magnifying glass. We need to start looking at God knowing that there's literally nothing he cannot do. If he can stop the sun and the moon from shining, if he can part rivers, if he can rain hailstones from heaven, if he can provide manna from heaven, if he can cause Joshua to win every single battle, all of these grand things that God does, but then you don't think that God can help you get a job, and you don't think that God can help you get a partner, and you don't think that God can help you with that breakthrough or that blessing that you're seeking him for. That is a drop in the ocean to God. It is a drop in the ocean. What you're asking him for is a drop in the ocean. He is well able. It is so easy for him. If he can stop the sun and the moon, what can he not do for you? And so I think that we have, yes, that's what the song Don Moen says is, "We have made you too small in our eyes, oh Lord, forgive us." And sometimes we make God so small, we fail to see and to truly understand the God who we serve. A God who could create us with internal organs, put kidneys, put a heart, put arteries, put capillaries, put all of these things that are inside us, the whole system, cause our blood to pump, create a brain that is so complicated. Scientists are still trying to figure everything out about it. Scientists are still trying to figure out creation, and the galaxies and everything. A God that is capable of so much, but we reduce him to so little. We reduce him to thinking that God can handle, very small things, even believing that God can give you that job, or God can heal you, or God can do ABCD. We've reduced our God. And so today I want to call us to magnify God. Magnify him. Trust him for the impossible. Trust him for the sun to stand. Trust him like the way was it Elijah that said that it would not rain for 3 years, and it did not? To have that amount of faith in what God can do for you. And it is our faith that limits what God can do for us, because faith is giving God license to move. And so without faith, he can't move. No matter how badly he wants to move, he can only move to the magnitude of your faith. And so if you're only trusting God for very little, not a hear very little, you're still not trusting him enough, he will only ever move to that extent. And so I want to call us to start to believe God for crazy things, for impossible things, for big, huge things, things that your mind is even struggling to comprehend. Those are the things I want to ask us to believe God for. because he's just well able to do it. To trust that God can heal a nation, to trust that God can move the impossible, to trust that God can break down barriers, he can break down strongholds. There is nothing that our God cannot do. And we need to magnify him in our lives so that his presence is that much greater, so that the miracles that we're asking him for are that much greater. God will not perform miracles beyond the limitation of your faith. Your faith has to give him the license to do it. And so let's magnify God. That is what I've gotten from the book of Joshua, and from reading the Bible so far, I have really noticed that God moves how we want him to move, and how we want him to move in regards to our faith. That if you look at Moses, if you look at Noah, look at Abraham, look at Isaac, look at Jacob, look at how their faith moved all the mountains in their lives, because they believed God for so much more. So believe God in your life for so much more. Don't reduce him. Don't reduce him to the small things. Don't reduce him to not even being able to handle those small things. God can heal your marriage. It might look impossible to you. You're not understanding how God can do it. But if God can stop the sun and the moon, he can do it for you. God can give you a job. God can give you that promotion. God can give you that partner or husband or wife. God can give you whatever you are asking him for. Just have faith and believe for it, and he will surprise you in very beautiful ways. God bless you.